What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, four-division world champion, superstar boxer Adrien the Problem Broner announced that he will be making his ring return in January on Showtime. More than likely, he'll face Ivan Redcash, a welterweight contender, journeyman, right? Adrien Broner said Ivan Redcash asked for this fight. He's been begging for this fight, and he wants to knock him out. With that said, Adrien Broner did a recent interview on Last Stand podcast with Brian Custer, in which Adrien Broner discussed a plethora of things. A few things stood out to me. One was the fact that he said the most exciting and the biggest fun he had, and the most fun he had in any fight was the Marcos Maidana fight. Who gave him his first loss, dropped him a few times in the fight, was a rough, rugged fight. But Adrien Broner, like he said, I gave him a heck of a fight. He said one thing he can't say is that he wasn't in a fight. And Marcos Maidana admitted that I was the hardest puncher that he's ever faced. With that said, another thing jumped right out at me. Adrien Broner stated that after the Marcos Maidana fight, Marcos Maidana changed the trajectory of his career forever. Marcos Maidana changed how Adrien Broner fights. This is something that majority of the people, the boxing world fans and pundits, always point to, is that he changed after the Marcos Maidana fight. And Adrien Broner says, yes, I absolutely changed. He made me very hesitant. He made me cautious. He made me think before I just react in the ring. And so I could have easily won the fight had I just relied on my skills, my athletic ability, and my boxing knowledge. But ever since that fight, he made me hesitant. He made me hesitant to throw punches. He made me hesitant in the ring. He made me think from there forward. And everybody points to that fight, like I stated, and say, Adrien Broner haven't been the same fighter. The problem is he hasn't been a better fighter, the same fighter, for the worse, because he's reluctant to let his hands go. And one thing jumped right out at me. The gloves, right? We know Marcos Maidana tried to wear these Everlast MX gloves against Floyd Mayweather immediately following the fight with Adrien Broner, in which that was the only fight that you truly saw Adrien Broner seriously hurt, not know where he was at times, wobble legs, dropped a few times. That was the roughest, toughest fight Adrien Broner was ever in. You never seen him in that compromised position, not to that magnitude, right? But ever since then, like he stated, he's been hesitant. He's been reluctant to let his hands go, right? Because it's in the back of his mind. Now, one wonders, myself, was Marcos Maidana wearing those gloves that he attempted to wear against Floyd Mayweather that had no padding in the knuckle area? I'm almost certain those were the same gloves, because the Boxing Commission approved of those gloves for the Floyd Mayweather fight. Floyd Mayweather ended up having to pay Marcos Maidana to use a different pair of gloves because he wasn't going to get in the ring with Marcos Maidana with gloves that he could feel his knuckles in without padding. So the Boxing Commission approved of these gloves. This fight changed Adrien Broner's career forever. We'll never know what Adrien Broner could have been. Now, obviously, a part of this has to do with Marcos Maidana's awkward style, Marcos Maidana's approach to the rough, rugged approach to the sport. You know, borderline, dare I say, dirty tactics, right? We saw this. He gave Floyd Mayweather a rough, rugged, tough fight in the first outing with the change of gloves. So without the change of gloves, who knows what kind of damage Marcos Maidana could have done. And it seems like it had a lasting effect on Adrien Broner. Or should I say, it doesn't seem like it has a lasting effect on Adrien Broner and his career. Adrien Broner has never been the same fighter. The fans, the boxing pundits, the media, everybody says if Adrien Broner lets his hands go, he could win the fights that he lost. Sean Porter fight. He dropped Sean Porter in the 12th round of that fight with a beautiful hook. But 1 through 11, he didn't let his hands go. He was having huge success against Manny Pacquiao, but he lost the fight because why? Inactivity. He just refused to let his hands go. Right? He got a draw with Jesse Vargas. Why? Because the first half of the fight, he just refused to let his hands go. And one has to wonder, it's mental, like he stated. And now he's told the world what we already thought. The Marcos Maidana fight changed the trajectory of his career. And most people were happy and satisfied with the outcome of the Marcos Maidana-Adrien Broner fight because of the mouthpiece on Adrien Broner. Like he stated, everybody doesn't like me. Some people pay to see me lose. And because of Adrien Broner's braggish style, because of Adrien Broner's mouthpiece, right? A lot of people have disdain for Adrien Broner. They're not in favor of Adrien Broner. They want to see Adrien Broner lose. And so all of the little nuances within the Marcos Maidana fight got overlooked because everybody just was happy with the outcome of the fight. See, Adrien Broner also was compared to Floyd Mayweather. He was supposed to be the next Floyd Mayweather, and he talked that talk. And remember, prior to that, he had the whole big saga with Paulie Malignaggi. So a lot of people, Adrien Broner just wasn't in their favor, right? They didn't like him. And so they were just happy to see him lose. But now one wonders, if Marcos Maidana wore those gloves in that fight, he was pretty much hitting Adrien Broner with bare knuckles, horsehair gloves that you can manipulate the pattern in the knuckle area. And like I said, what fight can you point to say you saw Adrien Broner seriously hurt like you saw in that Marcos Maidana fight? What fight can you point to and say, look how Broner was dropped like you saw in the Marcos Maidana fight? What fight can you point to and say, look, Adrien Broner's legs are complete noodles, other than that Marcos Maidana fight? And see, in that fight, Adrien Broner dug deep because it was the heat of the moment. His adrenaline was pumping. But after that, when adrenaline goes down and he had time to think, it made him reluctant from there forward. So I could say that, dare I say, Adrien Broner's career was robbed from him and us. Because if Marcos Maidana didn't have one of those gloves, right, and he used the gloves that Floyd Mayweather gave him in the first fight, now maybe Adrien Broner would have lost. But he wouldn't have lost to the magnitude that he did. And see, Marcos Maidana is already a hard hitter. He's already a hard puncher. He already packs a big punch. He's already very awkward. He's already very unorthodox. He already uses borderline dirty tactics. So you add the fact that he's using gloves that have little to no pattern in the knuckle area, horsehair gloves that can be manipulated. There we have Adrien Broner's career path changed. He was undefeated until that point. And you can clearly see the difference but leading up into that fight, and then after that fight. He was not the same guy. And now he makes it clear that, yes, that was the most exciting fight he's ever been in. That's the most fun he had in a fight. But I know behind closed doors, that changed Adrien Broner's approach to the sport of boxing forever. And he's reluctant in every fight to let his hands go because he gets a flashback of the Marcos Maidana fight. It's unfortunate because Adrien Broner have all the talent in the world. One will never know what he could have been. But it's clear that Marcos Maidana changed his career for the worse. But he's coming back in January. Let's see what he got. That's all I got for y'all, man. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hey, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notification. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to New Media. Shouts out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.